got the touch. You got the power.
What's up guys, J-Kun here, and today I'm going to be talking about a game that had a pretty significant impact on my gaming childhood. That game is Metroid 2: The Return of Samus. Now yes, I did have an original Nintendo growing up, but back then I was still very new to what games were what. I remember my friend having the first Metroid game, but because I knew next to nothing about it, I kind of just glazed over it. When it came to gaming back in the day, I was on the Game Boy more than I was the original NES. I remember seeing a commercial for Metroid 2 that blew my little kid mind, and it made me want it more than any other game, hands down. My parents obviously took notice, and more than likely, combined with me pestering the hell out of them, decided to buy it for me not long after the game's release. But my father, being the person that he is, decided to have some fun with it at my expense. I remember coming home from school one day, and I was told to go to a certain point in the house that would send me on an elaborate scavenger hunt, eventually finishing at the Game Boy case in my room with Metroid 2 sitting inside. Needless to say, I was very excited, and it became one of the only games I played for a very long time. I beat the game every way possible, and needless to say, I was thirsting for more Metroid action, so when Super Metroid finally showed up 2 years later, I was already up to the challenge. But I want to try and keep the focus on Metroid 2 for right now. Over the course of time, we have seen the Metroid series move up and down the popularity spectrum, and it seemed to be left in a sort of limbo, with Nintendo either not knowing what to do with the franchise, or not wanting to do anything with it. As I continued to see game after game of Zelda, and the very same process repeated with Kirby, Mario, and Pokemon, I always wondered when Nintendo was going to let Samus suit up and defend the galaxy once more. When I saw the trailer for Metroid Prime Federation Force, I kinda figured it was the final nail in the coffin for Metroid and its ass-kicking protagonist, Samus Aran. Enter the man known as Dr. M64. I ran across this guy while looking for information on how to speedrun Super Metroid. He had begun a project by himself, but after adding a small handful of people, was tackling this amazing task of remaking Metroid 2 from the ground up. The project was called AM2R, for Another Metroid 2 Remake. M64 upgraded this classic title for a more modern time, giving the entire game a fresh new look. Not only that, he expanded the game itself, adding new areas and elements to the game's core. In addition, he added classic elements that were not introduced until the release of Super Metroid, such as the speed booster, super missiles, power bombs, and the gravity suit. The game looked amazing and I eagerly awaited its release, but there was no telling when it would be, given the monumental task was being spearheaded by one man. On the afternoon of August 6th, 2016, my prayers were answered. The game was complete and live for everyone to enjoy. Sadly, the dream was crushed just days later when Nintendo issued a cease and desist order to M64, demanding the removal of all download links and to shut the game down. While I understand why Nintendo did this, after all, it is their property and they're protecting their interest. But it is such a damn shame to see what I consider to be one of the best remakes I've seen in a very long time get cut off at the knees so quickly. This is why I titled the video Metroid 2 and the remake you'll never get to play. However, that statement isn't entirely true, because if you dig deep enough on the internet, you can probably find someone still hosting the download link. It was just rotten to see something so well done get taken down so quickly. But I hope someday Nintendo will see this as a sign that perhaps the demand for a new Metroid game is bigger than they thought, and they will finally give us the new Samus adventure we've all been waiting for. While it may be difficult to find, if you're a Metroid fan, you owe it to yourself to scour the internet and see if you can find a way to play Project AM2R. That's all I got for now, but thanks for watching, and as always, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next mission.